Alright guys, I'll show you what we picked up. We're supposed to be saving up for another truck and a trailer to hold the K20 out back. Till we found this one. Price we couldn't turn, well, I couldn't turn down, but for the money it was well worth it. It's a 88 K5, 89,000 original miles on it from West Virginia, and I'll show you the kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly on it. So for me, I ain't got much room to get a real good video of the outside of it, I guess, but it's on 42s. Here's the only real bad spot on the body I can show you, and the bad part about it is when we went and got it, the guy I got it from had a brand new set of rockers for it, and I forgot to throw them in the truck. So this is the worst part on the truck, is the passenger side rocker, and then a little bit of rust right here on the quarter panel. And I think that the body's pretty solid. I mean, it's got some dents and dings where they used it for trail use. Nothing really bad. I mean, it'd probably be a lot worse by the time I'm done with it. You know, just little dings here and like on the quarter and stuff like that. That's no big deal. It's got, see, it's got the 42s on it. 14 bolt full floater. Dana 60 Kingpin. It's got dual stabilizers in the front. See it or not, crossover steering, dual shocks, both front tires, nice aftermarket front bumper. You can see it. Yeah, I guess you can see it. 12,000 pound winch came with it. It was new, so they only used it a couple times. The body has rhino lining on it. Some of it's peeling off though, but it needs a power wash bad, so I'll go back over it. You see, here's the driver's side rocker and everything on it's pretty good shape. So that's, you know, really not too concerned about that. It's got the, you know, the nice braided brake lines on it. Someone did a pretty good job on the install. It's got the nice greasable shackles on the front. Nice dual exhaust. It's got the flow masters on it. If you can see them. Atlas 2 transfer case. It's got the twin stick set up to where you can run front drive, rear drive, high, low, you know, the normal routine with the Atlas. It's got the pinion guard on it. And I like this part. On the rear leaf, it's got the extra leaf put on it to where it comes up and has the rubber bushing on it, so when it starts biting to help keep you from getting the S-curve in your springs. Of course, it needs a bath under here bad. Can't get a chance to wash it before I got it, but you can see the floor pans are solid. I don't have the battery hooked up, or I dropped the rear tailgate for you, but the floor pan is solid. Actually, I was really amazed. That's what sold me on it, because, you know, if anybody knows anything about K5s, up above the rear tank, they're real prone for rotting out, because, you know, people just never wash in there, so any kind of salt or anything gets in it rots them out. And the bad part, this is one of the bad parts. I thought, because he told me to put a brake line on it, so I thought, well, that's just a wheel seal, no big deal. Pop the drum, put a wheel seal on it. I got to looking at it. It's not bad, but it's the inner seal needs replaced. It's leaking the diff fluid out and across the ground, so I gotta get that fixed. And I don't know if I can get to do it with the camera. And I drove it down to our local BMV because I had to get the VIN inspection because it was out of state, and started hearing a crazy noise in the drivetrain. Of course, it didn't do none of this while we was down there looking at it. And let's see if I can get this to move. Which I'm hoping it doesn't cost a lot to get it fixed. I haven't had a chance to take the diff cover off yet, but first I thought, I can't, no, you can probably hear it. First I thought it was the U joint was just bad. It's got, you know, it's got movement in it, but I unhooked the drive shaft and took it out, and how you got the little ear right here on the yoke on, you definitely can't see in there, but on this side of the yoke, that ear is gone, so it's letting the U-joint slide around. So I was thinking that's cool, easy fix. And got to messing with it. I don't know if I can hold this camera still enough or not. If you can watch that noise you're hearing. I'm bouncing the camera around and everything, but that noise you're hearing is a mix between the ear missing to hold the U-joint in place, and see if I can get up there so you can see it. Yeah, I'm moving around too much, but the pinion's loose. So I gotta change the yoke, get that yoke changed out. The pinion still has to be replaced, and most likely I'm hoping it's just the pinion bearing. So I hate to have to do a full rebuild, because I definitely don't have the extra money for that right now. But it's not terribly expensive, but we'll find out what all is involved in it once I get the cover off. I just dreading it. There's a 14 bolt. 14 bolts are pretty easy to work on. I'll show you the back. Oh, getting too old for this. They did a nice job on the rear diff cover. If you can see, it's got, they made a nice guard, rear diff guard for it. It's pretty stout. I mean, for being homemade, it's pretty nice. And it's got the big piece welded in the center, and then it's got, the other one goes across and down. It's pretty nice. And braided line for the brakes. And for not only having straight pipe going to those Flowmasters, this thing really isn't that loud. Sounds pretty good. On the front pinion sill, has a small drip in it, so I'll probably replace it too. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. But so much for saving up for a truck and trailer for that K20. But I couldn't pass it for the deal. Oh, let's see. Man, I wish I had that battery hooked up. I could show you the floor pan. They did do some trimming. I don't know how much. It's all spring lift. There's no body lift, and they just trimmed. I don't know what size springs them are, but I forgot to ask him. But so they just trimmed. Trimmed the quarters, trimmed the fenders. They also put these small rock sliders. They're welded in. They're in pretty good shape. He didn't use it for a lot of rocks and stuff like that. He just had it and just used it to cruise the trails and stuff. And it's got the nice fan set up in there for the transmission. It's got a built 700 R4 in it. All heavy duty servos, pump, the whole deal, which makes it nice. I did have to, of course, none of this stuff happens when you're looking at it. I did replace, thankfully I had one. As soon as we got it here, got it off the trailer, shut it off, went to start it up, the starter was out. And I had one, threw it in, so it starts fine now. And yes, it's just the pinion still has a small drip. At first I thought it was the front diff cover until I looked up here, but it's just running down and dripping off the front pumpkin. And I think that's pretty much it. Pretty basic setup. I love the shackles, how it's got the greasable or hangers in the front. I love how it has the greasable hangers in it. That makes it really nice. The guy I got it off of, he has race trucks, so he definitely knows what he's doing. He has a YouTube channel. I just can't remember the name of it. See up there, they made a, if I can get it to zoom in, you can just barely see it right there. So they made a access panel for the fuel pump, so you don't have to drop the tank, which makes it really nice. So my guess is the fuel pump has been replaced, which is cool. I have a spare for it, brand new one out back out of my old K5, so I'll toss it in. just in case. Out on the trail, and the fuel pump goes out. That always sucks. Show you the inside real quick here. Some of these cars go by. It's got a, I think it's a 6-point cage on the inside. Interior is pretty nice. They got they all undercoated everything on the inside, so it makes it nice. All the gauges are hooked up, except for the tack. He went ahead and left the tack, but he never did hook it up. But it's got the, you can see the cage on the inside. It's got a nice 6-point cage. I'm pretty sure is what it is. Get the seat up. Yeah, you can see where it goes down, mounts in the back, covers the whole passenger area. Driver's compartment, passenger side. Makes it nice. Everything's pretty good shape. There's the shifters for the Atlas. Old junk starter. This car go by, and a good thing, one other thing I really like is it does not have power windows. Too much traffic. Has, you know, has the old school manual windows, which I love because they used to take the pins, you know, pop the pins. That video I had of the K20 with the tube doors, this is the vehicle it came off of. I got to shim this one bolt up here yet, but because I'll never run them on this. But so we're going to leave those on the K20, and that about sums it up. It just definitely needs a bath. Inside of the radiator is kind of cake. No, you can't see it. I'm trying to figure out. Jerry, you might know what hooked up. I forgot to ask him when I was getting it, but something ran from here to up here on the frame. I know some of them that they build, it has that, I can't remember what that bar is called, but it runs from the top down to the axle to help with, you know, some of them when they're built for flex and stuff like that. But I forgot to ask him while I was there because it was, you know, just kind of curious. The still has a stock 350 TBI in it. It's actually a 350 Goodwrench motor. Yeah, so it should hold up. It's got the 350 Goodwrench motor with throttle body injection, the built 704 with the Atlas case, and a 1-ton drivetrain. So crossover steering. So we'll see. Definitely get to see how she's set up. He showed me a couple of videos of when they had it out, and he was always easy on it. Never done anything too crazy with it, just cruise trails, but we'll see. Just glad it has no body lift on it. These are the, I think these are the only bushings they replaced, was the ones for the core support. The rest of them are still the factory bushings. But that about sums it up. I mean, you guys can see how solid it is, and for what we gave for it, it was a steal. I was looking at K5s here local, and they was all rust buckets, unless you wanted to pay 10 grand. And this one, you wouldn't believe me if I told you how much it was, especially for, just setting the way it is right now. It was a steal. The guy just didn't want it anymore. He was too involved in his race trucks. He just needs a good bath. That's all I got to get, because I'll probably next to never have the top off. So they always took the top off when they had it out, so I got to get a couple of the bolts that go up and around the top to hold it in, and a couple on each side that goes along the sill. And it has, which is pretty cool. I don't do much four-wheeling at night, but it's pretty cool to have. You can see in there. I wish that I had that battery hooked up. You probably can't see in there, but it has a small LED light bar in there. So if you need to light, when it's dark out, you need light. This has a toggle switch up there. You kick it, and it just lights everything up behind the truck. Which makes it nice. Nice aftermarket bumper on the back. It's got the D hooks on it, which these ones like they ain't knocking Harbor Freight, but these look like the. He's never used them, said he never needed them. And I got a spare tank out back for it too. They sealed all that stuff. But that about sums it up, guys. I mean, this is had the money for the other truck and the trailer, but well, for the truck, I didn't have the money for the trailer yet. But so this is the worst part. I wish I'd have known that when we went to test drive. This thing didn't make a noise when we was test driving it. No leaks, no squeaks, no nothing. But got it home and drove it. It's the local BMV's about 5-6 miles from here, and it started squeaking on the way there, and then it quit, and then got almost home and it started squeaking louder on the way back, and then quit, and then got to checking it out and found that. So I got to fix our Chevy Uplander. I got to put some hub bearing assemblies in the back of it and fix the exhaust before I get this out back to work on it. The one thing I was wondering is, oh yeah, there it is, the perch for the springs. I mean, it's kind of nice they added them in there. Helps keep them from bowing down. Just put some plate on the back of each one. I think actually on the back and front of each one to keep it from folding down. So he had a big gravel pile out there by his shop that he let us crawl around on it. Had a big swamp out there. I didn't hit the swamp, but you know, because I didn't, was afraid of tearing something up on it, and it wasn't mine at the time. But and I tell you, that Atlas, man, that thing, you talk about low geared. We had to put that sucker in low range, 4-wheel drive, and it was just sitting there idling, lurching forward. The brakes hardly held it still. Of course, granted, they need bled off too, but I can't wait to get it out. But that pretty much sums it up. I'll hold you guys up, and we get it together and get it out, and get hold of you, Jerry, so we can get it down there to Venton. Try her out, man. Thanks for watching.